Welcome back to Charmed Rewind! It's Charmed Rewind Day!
Wow.
It's the Charmed Rewind reunion.
Is it?
Yeah, we're reuniting after the last Charmed Rewind.
Okay, then.
It's a pretty special occasion. It's a season 6 episode. Phoebe's at maybe her most annoying.
Pretty sure this isn't a special day.
This is an unspecial day, actually. So the winner of the poll was season 6, episode 17, Hyde School Reunion. It's all about Phoebe this week, baby!
There's a side plot, which is better than the Phoebe storyline, but yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think like the side plot was one of the better season 6 side plots that they've had, but it's crammed in this nonsense.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, story-wise, this is after they have revealed that Chris is Piper's future son, so now they don't have to hide Holly Marie Combs' real-life pregnancy anymore, so there's been a 6-month time jump between episodes to explain why she's suddenly, like, much more pregnant than story-wise she was.
But still no one knew about it.
Yeah, apparently she told no one about it. She didn't tell Leo about it. He's off being an elder. Didn't tell her dad about it. Apparently she's just been a real asshole. And everyone's just like, oh, well, I guess you're pregnant, huh?
That's something.
Oh, weird. You know, they can act like things have happened off screen. They do this with, like, the grandma, too, where it's just like, hey, wait, there's another kid or whatever. And it's like, you can just have people find things out, especially if you're not going to have a real payoff to it, because they're always like, oh, really? Oh, well, anyway.
No.
You could just say, like, oh, yeah, when you told me and or something. But they don't. They choose the dumbest option. So yeah, Leo is being a full-time elder. He will not be in this episode. Chris is trying to figure out why Wyatt turned evil. No one else seems that concerned about it.
No. Why would they be?
Yeah,
I mean, like, what's Phoebe gonna wear to her reunion?
Yeah, she's focused on that. Paige is focused on Phoebe, and then Piper is eating Ben and Jerry's and being pregnant, I guess. And she's like, wait, I think my son E-hats me. Let's call Dad in to figure that out. It's not more important than my son that turns evil. My other son's avoiding me. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Good to be evil.
Being kind of standoffish. That's the top priority.
It seems like they've dramatically altered his character from when he was introduced. It's like he's suddenly got different things going on and not so evil. Can you figure this out, Dad? He goes like, hey, who brought my storyline back from the dead?
Who brought my second grandson back from the future?
Yeah. All sorts of bullshit going on. So anyway, we begin this episode with a close-up of Phoebe's high school yearbook. And there's a picture of her making a stupid face, like,
Yeah.
Not even a mean face, like she's the dumbest person in the world face that she's making. Maybe they took a mean-spirited photo.
I feel like they should have shown Piper looking at this, and then the next thing you see is it being tossed in the fireplace.
Why don't I throw this away?
Phoebe's crap, who cares?
So she's making a dumb face. She's wearing the same outfit that we see her in the rest of the episode as young Phoebe. There's a caption next to her, which is pretty good. It says, memorable, a panorama of our favorite pariahs and pantheons. And underneath her, it says, most likely to serve time. So,
well, she made the rest of us served.
It's so funny. So through this episode, she turns into her younger self, but obviously it's just Alyssa Milano in a costume. So they just put a longer wig on her and a mesh top and a leather jacket. And they're like, yeah younger self.
Whoa.
So anyway, Paige is reading this book with interest. You know there's interest because she says, interesting.
Paige, can you sell this a little more?
Interesting.
No.
And then our feelings on this episode is summarized as such. There's a flush.
Down comes Phoebe.
Not yet. Her flush is later.
Oh, okay.
This is when pregnant Piper comes out. She was puking in the bathroom because she saw the rest of the episode.
Saw the picture of Phoebe.
She's complaining about morning sickness, a valid complaint. Most of the time she's complaining about, everything she doesn't need to complain about, but I guess she's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you looking at that stupid book for? Paige is like, well, I'm trying to educate myself. I'm going to Phoebe's high school reunion with her. Piper's not going, but I guess Paige will.
No.
Wouldn't their high schools have overlapped a little bit? Like, they're not that much, there's not that much age difference between them.
I guess she went to a different one, though.
Why did she go to a different one?
She's probably in a different section of the city.
I guess. I don't remember the whole backstory.
I don't know.
But anyway, it's a different high school. And so Paige wants to know all about that stuff before she goes to this reunion. And Piper is like, well, Phoebe was kind of different then. Before she became the mighty and perfect Phoebe one that we all know and became incredibly uninteresting, she used to be a bad girl. Like the beginning of the series, she was kind of a fuck up.
Yeah, dumb sometimes.
She hung out with some bad boys. That includes Todd Marks, which she explains was Phoebe's first lust.
Good old Todd Marks.
Todd Marks. She was always talking about Todd Marks, you know? When Todd Marks was on screen, people were like, where's Todd Marks?
I got Todd Marks in school.
There was also this guy named Rick in her bad boy gang. He will come into play later as well. I don't remember his last name. He's no Todd Marks.
He's Rick Rickerson.
Yeah. So Paige is like, wow, a bad Phoebe? That's a whole different side of her.
Is it?
I would never imagine Phoebe being self-centered and terrible and doing bad things. This seems really different.
Anyway, let's look at her latest horrible advice column.
I can't imagine a Phoebe that everyone hates. The audience, boo!
They love me.
They love me. Piper's like, yeah, well, Phoebe acted out a lot. She wanted to piss off Grams. Not hard to do that. She's like, I think she missed our mom more than either me or Prue did. Like, what? I'm pretty sure that was a big part of Prue's thing with their mom, but now it's Phoebe's story. She's got to absorb everyone else's stories for herself.
Not that really ever comes up again.
Yeah. Prue who?
Yeah.
This is when Phoebe screams and rushes into the room. Ah! Flush. She's proving she's such a different Phoebe. She's complaining that the dry cleaner ruined her dress.
Yeah. It's the greatest tragedy in the world, my dress!
Yeah, what a contrast to old Phoebe. Yeah, she really missed Mom, and she had a tough time, and I miss me! Piper, she starts talking to Phoebe like she's a child. Like, she's like, you know better than to scream in the house unless there's a demon.
Idiot.
She really is just sort of a mom in this episode.
Yeah. Have to act that way with stupid Phoebe.
Yeah. Phoebe fucks off to go look through her closet. I gotta find something around. This is when Chris orbs in, wearing an apocalyptic trench coat for some reason. This is like his undercover outfit.
Oh, Chris, you're not going out on Halloween as a hobo again.
Huh?
What costume?
There's some major shoulder pads going on with this coat. What's going on there? I guess that's what Scabber demons like to wear, because this is his undercover outfit. He is trying to find out what happened to Wyatt, because no one else cares. And he's like, well, these Scabber demons are after me. I think they know that I'm not one of them. I wore the standard uniform and they didn't believe it, so now they're trying to kill me. He's like, I gotta go find a cloaking spell. I'm gonna go find the book.
Oh, I do have to mention that stupid Piper. He says Scabbers are after me. She's like, you can go upstairs and get some hydrogen peroxide. It's like, well, one, that's not what he's talking about. And two, it's a little late for hydrogen peroxide if it's scabbed over.
Yeah, she's particularly dumb in this episode. I don't know if she's supposed to have pregnancy brain or something.
Yeah.
But everything she does is like, she's really dull.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to act like people know things that I know they don't know, and then act obviously dumb about other things that, they're clearly saying something to me that's something else, but I'll be like,
It's like,
did you escape?
She's being dumb, and then Holly Marie Combs is legit pregnant, so she's kind of like half out of the performance, like, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, it makes her not as evil as normal.
It's true. I think Piper was probably at her best in this episode, aside from the early seasons.
Yeah.
So anyway, she kind of like, okay, so he rushes off. Chris rushes off to go get a cloaking spell. He's like, I'll find something in the Book of Shadows. And then Piper does not move, just half-assedly is like, I need any help.
I tried.
She's basically Willy Wonka, like, no, stop, come back.
Yeah.
Stop, don't come back.
So he rushes off, ignores her, and Piper's like, he hates me. Good reason, though.
Yeah.
Who doesn't hate you? And Paige, apparently it's her job this episode to console her evil sisters. This seems to be what she's doing through most of it. And she's like, no, he's just distracted. He's got like his imminent death coming up. I guess his death, I don't know. She's like, imminent death is coming up. So he's kind of focused on that. And then Piper goes, well, that's no excuse. He's been avoiding me. What's going on?
Yeah, nothing else going on in Piperland.
No. So anyway, she's like, I want to know what I did in the future to make him so mad at me. And then Paige is like, why don't you have Leo talk to him? And she's like, no.
Not Leo, he's being an
Just
elder.
a second.
Apparently Leo is so out of the loop, he doesn't even know Piper's pregnant. She's like,
He doesn't even know I'm pregnant.
so she's like, maybe I shouldn't bring him in on this one. Like, what a bitch. Like, doesn't he have a right to know that he has a son? Like, another son?
Yeah, no reason for this crap.
Whatever. So instead, she's going to call up Dad Halliwell. What is his new last name?
Bennett. Victor
I never
Bennett.
remember it. Dad Bennett. To chat it up with Chris. She's like, I'll call him in. Then she's got to rush to the bathroom to throw up or poop herself. I don't know. There's some like gurgle noises. It could go either way. Paige is like, I gotta see this. Paige grabs a camera. I'm gonna film this. Runs in with her.
Precious moments.
You're gonna want these in the future. And then Phoebe rushes in like,
Address, what's going on?
It's like, well, Piper got to your dress, Phoebe.
and then Phoebe is like,
Ow, who's this talented beauty on the bed?
and picks up her yearbook. She's distracted. She's like, oh, you're throwing up? Oh,
Yeah.
what? Who's this? Me?
Yeah, wow, how different.
So she picks up her yearbook.
She starts making out with it.
She apparently wrote a poem to herself in her own yearbook. She's like, I remember this poem. I was so talented.
Stupid Phoebe.
It's not like no one else wrote anything. You see other people. It's not like she was that much of a loser. She's like, I gotta fill my own yearbook.
She wrote
She's
it
like,
to
no, I'm gonna write a
herself.
poem to myself. She wrote, don't cast a smart spell on yourself. Then everyone will know you're canonically stupid. So anyway, she reads her yearbook poem, but now that she has her powers, it's a spell. Because just saying a rhyme is a spell. It could be any old ding-dang rhyme, because witches are stupid in this universe.
So dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
So Phoebe, she briefly flashes to herself in a leather jacket and long wig. I mean, her younger self.
Yeah.
So then we zoom in on Phoebe's stupid expression on the yearbook opening credits.
Whoa, I can't continue to watch this one. Gotta tune out.
Wow, thanks for warning us. Well, see what else is on.
I mean, I think the moment you tap out is when she comes down yelling about her stupid dress, and you're like, wow, can't miss this charm, can you?
You know when you see Phoebe with the pixie cut, you're in for a really bad time. So anyway, after the opening credits, they have a very extended replacement song. It's very obvious because it goes on a long time.
Yeah.
This is when Dad Bennett arrives. He notes that Piper is pregnant.
Pregnant?
Luigi board. Yeah, he's just like, hey, what's going on? Hey, looks like you're pregnant. And she goes like, yeah, it looks that way.
Yeah.
You bitch. Why didn't you tell your dad you're pregnant? Why didn't you tell anyone in your life? Do you not love anyone other than yourself? Phoebe and Paige wouldn't know about it if they didn't have to do Power 3 shit.
Yeah, if they didn't live in the same house.
Yeah, basically. So she's like, well, I meant to call you, but then trails off and doesn't explain why.
But I didn't.
And she's like, oh yeah, Leo's the dad, in case you want to know.
Huh?
Yeah, this is when Dad Bennett has a real tough time understanding that sometimes people who aren't together have sex. Wait a minute, I thought you broke up. What?
Yeah, that didn't make
How
any
did
sense.
this occur?
That was a dumb on him, but the next thing she says is like, oh yeah, Leo's happier to moved on and passed away.
When I cut his head off. Wait, no, I didn't mean he died.
Yeah, it's like, what?
She makes it seem like he died, and he does not care. By the way, like, Dad Bennett is just like, oh, well, how'd that happen? How'd he die?
I like he was happier to be dead? And she's like, oh, no, he's not dead.
Yeah, he might as well be. He's a boring elder.
He was confused. Wait, he was happier to be dead? Like, what?
Wait a minute.
I mean, I guess to get away from you, that might make sense.
I'm happier that he's dead. I hate white lighters, and I hate my half-white lighter children. And she's like, well, Leo's not around. And then Dad Halliwell's like, oh, he was never around anyway. He was a son of a bitch. And then Piper's like, right back at ya.
Oops.
And he's like, yeah, all right, I'll try and make up for all that with my sons. And then Piper's like, yeah, I'm gonna name my new son Chris. And he's like, how'd you find out that name? And then how'd you decide on that name? And then she's like, well, because Chris hates me or something. She doesn't explain that she has the future Chris there.
Yeah, because they've never told him about this either, so he's never heard of Chris.
He doesn't know he has a future son, and then she acts like he knows, even though he didn't. Grandson. He didn't know he has a future grandson hanging around, and then she's like, yeah, well, you should talk to him. And he's like, all right, I don't understand your Wiccan ways.
Yeah.
I'm scared of fire and the future. I'm just a caveman lawyer. But I'll try it out. So he starts talking to her belly, and then she treats him like the dumb one in this situation. It's like, Piper, this is all on you.
Yeah. She's like, shut up, Dad. Chris, come over here. He's like, the baby can come out?
Like, oh, you're so dumb, Dad. Don't you get it? He's here for the future.
Yeah, stupid future Chris. He comes in his apocalyptic trench coat.
Toilet flush, and then he comes down.
Huh? He sees him, and he should know better, too, because he's from the future. He doesn't know that his grandpa doesn't know that he's from the future. He's not supposed to say... This whole episode is him going, I can't tell you what happens in the future, but he's just like, hey, Gramps, what's up?
Yeah.
I'm definitely the same character I was at the beginning of the season. Hug.
Now he has no chill about hiding his identity and tells everyone immediately.
Yeah, like, hey, future guy. Just people
I've
at
got
the store
some
like,
cards
hey,
printed up. Chris Halliwell, boy from the future.
I give it to people I see on the street, and when I go to the grocery store, and when I go to the club. So anyway, meanwhile, Phoebe and Paige, they're at Phoebe's high school reunion. And Paige is wearing this weird furry blue jacket over their formal wear. It's real weird.
Yeah.
This is another episode that acts like a high school reunion is like a big deal. It's not.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers or cares. Shut up.
Well, it's like no ties past as high school. Like, I guess if you've done nothing with your life.
Well. So Phoebe is focused on herself as usual. Like,
I don't know what everyone's staring at me and hate me. And everyone's going to hate me when I get in there.
And she's like, oh, watch out, Paige. A lot of people are going to hate me. And then Paige got to soothe big baby Phoebe. So she's like, oh, no, they're not going to hate you. You're a famous advice columnist. Everyone loves you. And I feel like Rose McGowan hated these lines, actually. I feel like she was saying them as sarcastically as possible, because fuck off.
Yeah, you have to placate stupid Phoebe again. It's so annoying. She has to feed her ego, I'm sure, off camera and then on camera,
yeah,
too.
It's like so much of this episode, too, is about how, like, she was hated because she was a bitch in high school. But then, like, they're also like, we gotta we gotta flatter Alyssa Milano's ego, so we can't have people be too mean. So as soon as Phoebe gets in there, they have to have some chick she doesn't even remember compliment her. Like, oh, you look so good. Oh, I love you, Phoebe. You're great. And then she leaves. And then like, oh, I don't even know who that was.
I don't know.
Before they've even had anyone hate on her, they have to make sure that someone sucks her dick first. But then there's an old gym teacher there who does e-hat Phoebe.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, hey, what's up, bitch? You still breaking the law? You fucking asshole.
That's why I failed Gym class.
I do feel like, okay, Phoebe needs to be taken down a peg, so I do love that everyone hates her, but also, could you be more professional? Just because someone in high school was an idiot doesn't mean you need to be a fucking bitch to them when they come to the reunion.
I can't believe you came to the reunion. You were kind of bad 2 years ago.
No one changes from high school. And then Phoebe's just like, no, I'm cool now. I'm a relationship advice columnist. And then like the lady laughs at her like, you give relationship advice? And like, she's honestly,
like, she's like, I read it. That's why I thought you would not come here, actually.
You show your face.
I knew you'd changed for the worse.
So they go inside, and it looks really lame in there, to be honest. And they do some shots like it is lame. Like there's some shots of people's like bellies, like they got kind of fat, or some people looking bored. But then they also have shots of people just looking at Phoebe like, you fucking bitch. Yeah. So it's kind of like a mix of this is lame, but also she wants to impress these lame people. It's weird. Yeah. I would just turn around at that point.
Yeah.
Why? Who cares? It's a high school. You will never encounter these. Yeah, Grandpa Simpson out the door. Yeah. You will never encounter these people again. So everyone's staring at Phoebe, and then Paige is like, she's got to soothe her again. She's like, no, it's because you're beautiful and famous, and everyone wants to be you.
You can sense such pain.
Yeah, she's like,
nice try. I'm an empath. I can tell that they e-hat me.
So
yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. I hate you too, bitch.
Rose McGowan, like, you make me cry every time we renew a season. Shut up.
Oh my goodness.
But lest we think that everyone's being too mean, someone excitedly runs over to ask for Phoebe's autograph. Oh my god, I love you, Phoebe! So everyone hates her, but she's got to have this toady who apparently worshipped her in high school.
Yeah, her little lackey from high school.
This is Ramona, and apparently Phoebe was a real bitch to her. Like, okay, so she worshipped her, but then, like, she would do funny pranks, like leaving her in the trunk of a car. Like, it's like, this is going into illegal territory. Like, this is bad.
Like, Phoebe even kind of acknowledges, like, oh yeah, that was super shitty, but they have to have her be like, oh, it's fine, because I love you, Phoebe, so that it doesn't really sink into any real level, the horrible thing she did.
And, like, I get that they're like, here's a contrast. Phoebe's not the same as in high school. Okay, arguable. But it's like, they
way different if she was a good person now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's not enough contrast, because she's horrible now. She's just horrible in a different way.
Yeah.
But, like, they could have used some of this as a way for her to be like, yeah, I've changed and I should make up for some of the stuff I did, or like, you know, use this as some personal growth, like do something nice for Ramona. She's written out of the episode being kidnapped and then rescued off screen. Apparently. So
yeah, that's great. You know, the main, issue with Phoebe has always been her conceited nature, and that's not changed at all.
Yep. That's the problem when you have a mean girl playing a mean girl and you're trying to say she's not a mean girl anymore.
I'm seeing double here. 4 Krusties.
So anyway, this is when Todd Marks shows up. The Todd Marks!
Whoa!
He's like, oh, Phoebe, I love you. I read everything you write. Sucking her dick.
I'm married now, but I still love you, Phoebe.
He's married to this other lady, and we're supposed to believe that she's a bitch because she's mean to Phoebe. Like, Phoebe was a complete bitch, and then her husband is trying to get back with this bitch and flirting with her all the time. Apparently reads her column every day. She's got a reason to be bitter.
Yeah.
So her name is Paula, his wife, and she's got a grudge against Phoebe. She says that Phoebe is the talk of the reunion, but she can fool, or because she can fool San Francisco with her pithy advice, but she can't fool them.
Pithy advice.
Pithy advice. Paula's the best. She says everything we want to. She tells it like it is. She says the line of the episode. This is supposed to be mean, but it's so good. She says, to the rest of the world, you might be Ask Phoebe, but to us, you'll always be Freebie. Wah, wah. And then Phoebe looks so sad, and it's like, yes!
Yeah.
The audience cheers. Woo! Take her down a peg! Paula! Paula! Paula!
I'm going to put you in my next column.
Shut up, Freebie.
She runs to the bathroom.
Yeah, she runs away to go shit herself, and Paige follows her with a camera. Precious moments. And so Phoebe briefly turns into herself in a wig and leather jacket again, like, huh? What's going on there?
And Paige like, wow, this looks dumb. I don't want to be in this plot.
Can I be part of the other plot, please? Yeah, Paige is like, I've seen both versions of Carrie, so the reunion's over. Let's go. Back at the manor, Dad Bennett's talking to Chris. Chris mentions some future event. He's like, the event. There was the event. The incident. The something happened, and that brought us closer together. That's why I love you, Grandpa. But he won't say what this event is. And Piper's trying to figure out what's going on, but he's like, I can't reveal anything else about the future. He says so many things about the future in this episode, but he won't reveal this.
Like, I won't tell you unless you really press me.
Yeah. Unless you lightly go, come on.
Yeah. Oh, I need to know. All right, here you go.
You know, when you think about the series finale, when they're just like, yeah, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead. What's going on here? Time travel future. We'll tell everyone everything. And it's like, can you not? Come on. So anyway, Phoebe and Paige arrive home, and then Paige shoos Phoebe upstairs so she can continue the scene without her. Like, she's like gonna explain everything going on with Phoebe, but she's like, you get out of here. Get out of this scene, Phoebe. She's like, hey, you don't have to tell me twice. Dust cloud left behind her. So, yeah, she's like, here's the situation. Let's go figure out what's going on. Piper and Paige go to look through the Book of Shadows, because I guess Phoebe can't do anything about her own fucking situation. They don't even know if it's serious. She just briefly flashed to her younger self and flashed back. It's not that big of a thing yet.
Who cares?
It was
as big a
second.
deal as like her dress not being dry cleaned, right?
Yeah. So upstairs, Phoebe is busy talking to herself about herself. And in the mirror, we see her younger self. She's quantum leaped into a wig. This is when Todd Marks calls her. Apparently, he has her number?
Yeah, I was wondering how he knew her number.
They just re-met at this reunion. He had her phone number? Paula, she's lucky Paula didn't beat her ass.
Uh-huh. I was expecting her to say, like, how do you have my number? But that never comes.
Those two were definitely, like, fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
Paula should have brought a gun out and shot Phoebe. So anyway, he's like, I only came to this reunion to see you. Look, Todd Marks, you are not a good man. Even like they're like, oh look, when he's his younger self, he's worse. It's like, no, I think he's pretty bad as an adult.
Yeah, it seems about the same, just like Phoebe.
Yeah, like all of them are supposed to be like their like high school selves later, but it's like they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing different.
No.
Except Phoebe wears a wig. No one else even changes costumes.
Yeah, they couldn't
like,
afford costumes for everyone.
Yeah. So Todd's like, I miss our wild days. I love when we were assholes who kept people in trunks. I never moved on from that. I'm an accident lawyer, but you know, the best times were when we were mean to people in high school. Phoebe's like, yeah, I miss those times too. Now I can just be mean in a paper, an international paper or whatever. I guess it's just a local paper. It's like two people read it, actually. It's a pretty small paper.
It's been syndicated to the world yet.
So anyway, this is when Paula takes the phone away and she's like, is this Freebie? And Phoebe's like, oh! Flushes and then turns back into her younger self. Paula is right to do this. Like, you cheating with Freebie again? And then Phoebe's like, you bet your ass it is, and I'm coming to get you, bitch!
Yeah, what the hell?
So, young Phoebe, she knows some stuff, but she thinks she's her younger self. She doesn't know she's a witch or anything. So, she sneaks out the window. And this is while...
It's not really consistent, because she uses spells later blatantly.
Well, yeah, she's like, I'm a witch, and she instantly just knows how to use spells.
Yeah, and then she knows everyone else has been regressed, but she knows stuff still. Like, it's not consistent, it seems, what she knows. As young Phoebe.
They didn't have to act like she didn't know she was a witch. She could just say like, oh, I can use this for whatever because she's a high school student now. So she's like, I'm going to use it for bad stuff. She didn't have to not remember.
Selfish things.
Selfish things. So anyway, while she's sneaking out, Dad Bennett and Chris are smoking cigars together. And Chris is like, hey, a little tip. Maybe you should stop that habit, prevent some future stuff.
Yeah, like that. And then Victor's like, oh, throws the cigar away.
Oh, gee! And then throws a cigar. Thanks for the tip. So let me get this straight. Spoiler alert, the event is Piper dies when Chris is 14. He can warn his grandpa about cancer. But he can't tell Piper about how or when she dies. Can't give her a heads up on that one, but I'll save cool grandpa.
Yeah.
He wants Piper to die.
Well, I mean, isn't he justified?
Yeah.
I'm in danger.
So, in the background of this going on, Phoebe climbs down the trellis, and then for the commercial break, she walks toward the camera. Her boobs go toward the camera, and her bra and mesh top just whoosh, to go to commercial break.
Shut up, Phoebe.
So she goes back to the reunion and proceeds to make stink faces at everyone. And then goes over to make out with Todd Marks. Paula comes and pushes Phoebe to the ground. And then she makes fun of her some more. This is all warranted.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you gotta steal everything and you're just rich and idiot and blah, blah, blah.
And then Phoebe's like, yeah, well, I'd rather be rich than a bitch. And then turns her into a dog in front of everyone. Granted, they act like everyone forgot everything by the end of the episode, but they don't have a spell on them yet. So they should remember everything before that.
Yeah.
Including the fact that Phoebe turned someone into a dog, but
And all this doesn't count as personal gain, because, I don't know, she's young Phoebe.
Yeah, she talks later about how, like, as an adult, she wouldn't do that because there are consequences. And it's like, it doesn't seem like there are. You guys don't talk about personal gain at all these days. So
No,
what's the consequences? Nothing.
Everything she's doing is personal gain in this episode.
So this is when young Phoebe realizes she has powers, and she's like, I immediately know how to turn everyone into their younger selves. I can just cast this... Like, she's like, I have powers. Anyway, fiddle-dee-dee, bring my high school back to me.
Yeah. And like, she understands that. It's like, I've regressed to my younger self, and I understand that. Yeah. Like, what?
Why? You could just have her remember, but not have the emotional maturity to hold back. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Everyone else turning into their high school selves at the reunion means they turn into violent idiots. It's like, not all high school students are just going to start tearing things apart, punching each other. There is one guy who starts breakdancing, though. That seems pretty accurate, too. It was a pretty good breakdance, too.
Hey,
whoever they got was professional.
I'm my younger self. Let's tear this place apart.
Let's tear it apart, boys. They turn into the world's most dangerous band on Letterman.
Yeah.
So, they're doing breakdancing moves, they're throwing people into the punch bowl, all this stuff. All while this is going on, Phoebe and Todd Marks make out under a table. This is when Paige orbs in, and she's like, uh-oh, better give Piper a call. What's Piper doing? Eating Ben & Jerry's.
Something going on.
What? Does Chris love me? I don't care.
She only reacts very slightly when she hears broken glass on the other end. Otherwise, she's like,
It's a high school thing going on? Some sort of spell?
Sounds great.
Well, I'm not that concerned still.
And about Phoebe,
So, Phoebe and her old gang, Todd Marks and Ramona, I guess, they run away and steal a cop car, because the cops have been called for all this breakdancing and punching going on. So, while this is going on, Dad Bennett and Chris are having a fancy dinner. And Chris is like, ugh, stupid fancy dinner. And Dad Bennett's like, well, I mean, I'm trying to live up to my reputation. I'm trying to figure out why I'm cool in the future. He's like, I can't tell you why you're cool in the future. I can tell you get cancer, but I can't tell you why you're cool in the future. This could change everything.
He's like, come on. He's like, all right, we talked.
Yeah, he's like, we just talked about stuff. You were cool. And then he admits that the reason he's avoiding Piper isn't because he hates her. It's because she was dead in the future, and he's happy about that. It's too painful not to hear her complain every second of the day.
He can't hold back his giggles.
He's just thinking about how she died and she was screaming for his help, and he just went no and let her die. He says that when he was 14, she was killed in some nondescript way. He doesn't say how.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he can save his grandpa from cancer, but not Piper from her future death. Seems legit. Meanwhile, Paige and Piper are scrying for Phoebe. This is when Chris and Dad Bennett orbin, and they're like, we're cool now. Everything's fine. And they're like, yeah, anyway, Paige casually reversed that spell on the class reunion. Everything's fine. They did not say that they forgot everything, but I guess if it works anything like the other people in the gang, they forgot everything.
Yeah, you have to assume they did, I guess.
But remember, the spell was cast on them after they saw the dog thing, so I don't know how they forgot that, but whatever. Maybe the cleaners showed up. Remember them?
Yeah, boy, the cleaners.
This is when the Scabber demons show up in their shoulder pad trench coats. And Piper is shocked to find out that she can't just blow them up easily. She tries it, and then it doesn't work. She's like,
if I can't do my lazy attack, what do we do?
It's fine. 2 seconds later, they spew out some acid at them, and then Paige flings it back at one of them, and then he blows up easily. So it just cost them an extra 2 seconds.
Yeah. One more move.
Wow, really tough battle for them. The other Scabber demon retreats to be easily defeated another day. Actually, I don't think he is. I think he gets away alive by the end.
Yeah, the other ones do.
I think they only kill one of them. So, rare W for the Scabber demons. So anyway, Phoebe and her gang, they decide that they're going to go to prison to visit Rick, who was the other member of the gang. He is in prison for robbing an armed robbery of a liquor store. They're like, we're just going to go say hi to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We're just going to glamour ourselves to look like lawyers, and we're going to go in there and say hi to him. And he sees them turn into themselves pretending to be lawyers. And he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And then he gives a chair shot to a guard. And they're like, what the fuck, man? We're just going to say hi to you in prison. We didn't expect you to attack guards. And you're not cool, man. We lock people up in trunks, but we don't attack police officers. We steal their cars.
Yeah.
That's assault. So he's like, you're going to help me break out of here. He takes a gun. He holds them at gunpoint. Apparently, young Phoebe can't cast a spell like fiddle-dee-dee, take the gun away, or something like that.
Fiddle-dee-dee, give the gun to me.
Give the gun to me. So they're like, this is a bridge too far. We're going to help you, but we won't like it. So they get out of there, and they give him like a new face so he looks like a guard so they can get out of there. And they're like, well, see ya. Mm-hmm. They're gonna ditch him. And he's like, no, I'm cool now, though. I didn't really rob that liquor store. I was set up. I would never do anything like that. I'm one of you guys. And they're like, yeah, I guess that seems fine. Except for Phoebe, who's like, my back's turned to him.
I don't trust him, but okay.
I don't like it. Back at the manor, Piper finds out that she dies in the future. Like, she's just like, come on, what's going on? All right, fine, you die in the future. But I can't say more than that. That won't change the future or anything, will it?
And then Chris goes, I'm sorry, Mommy. And she goes,
Mommy!
and swallows him whole.
She spews the acid from the Scabber demons. And then Piper's like, hey, you came here to change the future, so maybe you could save me. But they don't elaborate on that because they leave that hanging by the end of the episode.
Yeah, well, they keep saying, like, maybe it's already changed considering all the stuff you've changed.
Yeah. I mean, just seems weird to bring all that up and then not. I mean, we saw she was like a senile old woman by the end of the show, so we know that she lived, I guess.
Yeah, it's because they don't want to commit to anything right now, so they don't want to get into specifics.
Yeah. In any other show, that would be a whole part of that storyline.
Yeah.
But here it's just an aside.
They could have made this important and like something that really changed, but yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, the parts with Dad Bennett talking to Chris are solid character stuff.
Yeah,
it's
pretty well done.
Yeah, like it's quite the turnaround for Chris's character, but just going with this episode, I do think that they were doing some interesting character work that was serving both characters pretty well, who don't really get a lot of time to shine and charm, to be honest.
Yeah,
especially Chris. Like, he's real shit.
Yeah. It's like a shining moment for Victor.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So anyway, Phoebe and her gang are bickering. And Rick is like, hey, how about we do something real cool? Instead of TPing things, let's rob an armored car. Because I'm innocent and I didn't do that other robbery. Wait a minute. They're still in the same alley they were in. They haven't even left there. And he's like, I was framed. Anyway, what if we rob an armored car? What do you think about that?
Yeah.
So they aren't into this. And Rick knocks out Todd Marks. And Phoebe turns back into her normal self. She's like, this is stupid. I'm going to be old again. And she's like,
I'll give you an advice column that'll make you think differently.
She turns back and then she goes like, I've fought demons that are scarier than you. Like, maybe you don't tell him demons and stuff. I guess he knows she can do magic, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, she gets beamed out of there in the middle of all that. Scotty beams her up. The others have summoned her back home. They're like, we must summon a demon for this. And she's like, wait, I gotta go back and help them. And then Piper's like,
No, you need to do my thing. We need the Power 3 to get rid of those demons after Chris.
and Phoebe's like, no, my thing is more important. Innocents matter if they're my friends. She never cares about anyone, but she's like, no, it's my thing. Now it matters.
Yeah, my thing. And also my dress for the Dragolators!
Fix my dress with magic!
There's all this other shit she's doing in here. Could she not fix it with magic?
Yeah,
Come
she
on.
might as well have. Everything else has been obvious personally.
So they send her back. Todd Marks is still unconscious. He's tied up. And Rick has kidnapped Ramona and taken her to some undisclosed location. And he's like, all right, you're going to help me rob this armored car or Ramona's dead. And that matters to Phoebe somehow.
Who else is she going to push around? Oh, everyone.
I really thought that Ramona was going to be in a trunk, as a callback to the trunk thing, but no.
Yeah. You would think.
Yeah.
If anything meant anything in Charmed, and Phoebe had to consider any of her actions, but nah.
I feel like maybe in the script there was more to that, but then they're like, we can't film all this, so just write a line real quick to say she's over somewhere else.
Yeah.
It'll save us money. We don't have another location to go to.
Could have won the cars in the alley they're already in with cars in it.
That's true. So anyway, apparently this has gone into the next day. I don't know if this is all night or they just slept on it, but this is daytime now. So Phoebe's like, I don't know. Hey, all right, back to that armored car thing.
I'm really worried about...
Yeah, she took a page out of Paige's book. So anyway, Phoebe is driving Rick in their stolen police car over to the armored car, and she's surprised to find out that he did rob that liquor store. Now it's surprising? Like, she's like, so you did do it, didn't you? And like, obviously!
You got me.
You're not a high school student anymore, come on. Rick's like, boy, you changed for the lamer. We were trying to figure out who this guy was playing him, and I think it's just because he's one of those that guys. He does a lot of like one episode appearances, but he kind of looks like Norman Reedus, and we just covered some episodes with him. Mm-hmm. Maybe he like plays his stunt double and some stuff or something. I don't know.
Idiot, you captured his stunt double.
So anyway, Phoebe's like, well, I can't just use magic to change you into someone else and do all that. There's consequences, even though, again, no consequences.
Yeah, there is not.
And then she just does some magic. I don't know if this is supposed to be a consequence. She's like, fiddle-dee-dee, set that guy on fire. And then the guy in the armored car is on fire. And she's like, oh, it was just supposed to be an illusion. I'm like, is this supposed to be a consequence? Or she just set that guy on fire as an aside?
That's really messed up, Phoebe.
Terrible. So there's another guy in the armored car. Rick tackles him. While all of this is going on, there's a scuffle, and then Phoebe tries to get the gun, but Rick's quicker. And he holds the gun on her and he's like, you're not the first person I've killed. So he's also a murderer.
Yeah.
I think they threw that in because they're like, oh, we know how we do away with this character. Maybe it's better if he's a murderer, not just a thief.
Yeah, somehow that makes it okay.
Yeah. So Phoebe just casts a spell on him. That makes him paranoid. Like, she's like, fiddle-dee-dee, make him scared. And so, like, there's, like, these sirens and stuff, and then I guess it's just an illusion, because he's like, oh no, the cops are after me. This makes him, like, crazier and acting irrationally. So I feel like everything that happens after that is also partially her fault, because she could really, if she could just make up any poem, she could just be like, fiddle-dee-dee, tie him up, you know? Like, there could have been any other,
there's
like,
way better spells she could have cast than that.
Yeah.
She can set someone on fire.
Speaking of setting people on fire, Piper. She is in the nursery thinking about setting her son on fire.
About eating her children.
You think he's old enough to roast him?
Yeah, they'll solve the stupid Wyatt problem if I eat him.
He's still got that baby fat.
She is sad that she might die young. And Dad Bennett's like, not gonna tell you. Sorry.
It's a great secret. You're gonna be so surprised when it happens. Oh, I can't wait to see her face.
I love throughout the episode, he kind of treats her like a silly Billy for trying to figure out like when she might die in the future. So anyway, this is when Phoebe and Rick show up at the house. I'm not sure why he had her go, I guess as a hideout maybe? Like, because he heard the police, maybe he wanted to hide out. They go to their house, and Paige comes out, and he finds out she's a witch, and so he's like, all right, you turn me into someone else so I can be in disguise. And then Phoebe throws some hints at Paige. They conspire together to murder him. So Rick's like, you give me a new face, and then like Phoebe's like, hey, what about our nephew? Cool. So she turns him into Chris, and the Scabber demons immediately appear and melt him. They shoot acid at him and murder that guy.
Yeah.
Blood is on their hands.
This is the great plan.
Like, he was a murderer, but he was a human being. And they're like,
well, they also had a million ways to do this not that way.
Yeah.
Because, like, Paige was there, they had two of them, and she can easily orb objects away from people, so she could have disarmed him so easily.
The gun away immediately, but she's like, no, you know what would be better if we melted him. He died in the worst way possible.
And then they tried, like, she says to Phoebe, you had to. Like, shut up.
I feel like Phoebe also was only sad because it was a guy she used to hang out with. It's not because they killed a human being, because otherwise, like, Paige would be like, we had to. Yeah. She said, you had to. This was personal to her. Paige does not care.
No, you had to. That was the only way out of that.
Yeah. So the Scabber demons, they poof out, they're gone. So that guy died in a worse way than most of the Scabber demons.
Take a while to clean him off the floor, I think.
They got Leo to do it. They're not going to tell him about Piper, but they're like, come clean this up.
Leo.
Where's Piper? You can't see her right now because of some reason. Clean.
Oh, before he died, they did ask him where Ramona was, and he's like, all right, she's over by the water tower.
Yeah, good thing he said that before they melted him.
But they were also like, how do we know you're telling the truth? And he's like, you don't. He's like, well, hopefully he was, because you melted him.
Oh, oops.
You want to make sure before one of you can orb. Just go get her.
Let's give his splotch on the floor CPR. Actually, we need some more info.
She has something of Phoebe's. We gotta go get it. It's not her. So anyway, some other time in the future, Phoebe is looking through her yearbook at herself again.
Wow, she's learned so much.
I was such a talented beauty.
So, this is when Paige comes in to, soothe her, because that's her job this episode. And they're like, yeah, that spell was reversed. Everyone forgot everything. It's cool. Paige is like, well, it was good to see you like that, Phoebe, because as an older sister, you're quite a lot to live up to. And Phoebe does this weird reaction, right? Like this faux humble thing. Like she's like, oh, I'm so humble. But she's like, she does this heavy breathing. Like she's like, and it's like, what is this?
The show wasn't so stupid. This would be the point where Phoebe really apologizes to that friend she treated like shit.
Yeah, but she's rescued off screen, apparently.
Yeah, they don't bother to even show her again. It's like, okay.
Phoebe just has to, focus on herself some more.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to be told.
She always has to focus on Phoebe. I don't have time for anyone else.
She has to be told she's so great, whatever.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Piper is seeing off Dad Bennett, and he's like, yeah, now you know why I don't come around more often. Just kidding, mostly.
Yeah, mostly. It's very good.
And Piper tries to, like, sneakily find out when she dies, and he's like, nice try. Ha! See ya, idiot. That's the end of the episode. Pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Phelan, what are your final thoughts on Hyde School Reunion?
Is that, like we said at the beginning, is a good B plot, and the A plot is completely moronic.
Yeah, unfortunately, you gotta watch a lot of Phoebe in this episode. It's not, like, the worst of season 6, but
Yeah, it's like Piper's kind of dumb at parts, but she's not at her worst at all. In fact, she's on her better behavior for this late into the series. And yeah, the Victor and Chris stuff was actually pretty decent.
Yeah. So, better than season 8, but it's still season 6, so you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phelan, do you have a Margoyle or a Carman?
Carman's Victor. I thought his scenes with Chris were good, and I thought he did have a pretty good reaction when Chris let it slip that Piper dies.
It's pretty funny when you found out he got cancer in the future.
Yeah, but I thought it was actually decent acting when he hears that.
Yeah, I think like that dinner scene was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Margoyle's the obvious Phoebe. She sucks so hard in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree on the Margoyle. It's got to be Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
I think my Carman's going to Paula. Because she told it like it is. She was justified in everything she did. She wasn't a villain. She was the hero we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, she was someone in the right that the episode treated like she was in the wrong.
Yeah. The gym teacher is sort of a half.
She gets a half star.
Yeah, she was unprofessional, but, you know, it's fine. She was mean to Phoebe, so... Anyway, if you guys liked this review, we'd appreciate it if you gave us a like, subscribe, or review wherever you're enjoying this podcast. You can see us in audio form wherever podcasts are enjoyed. And you can also watch us on YouTube under youtube.com/movie nights the series and youtube.com/Phelan. You can also support us on Patreon. See episodes of things ahead of time, vote for episodes of Charmed Rewind, all that good stuff. My Patreon is patreon.com/movie nights, and Phelan's is patreon.com/Phelan. Thanks to Peter Hunter for editing the podcast for us and for doing the amazing theme song. He asked that I plug his podcast this week. He's doing a Twilight Zone podcast called The Monsters Are Due with his wife. So if you like husband and wife teams, you will enjoy this podcast. So the website for that is themonstersareduepodcast.com. Phelan, what hashtag should we use?
Hashtag Freebie.
Hashtag suck it. Hashtag fiddle-dee-dee. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you Charmanders next time. Bye.